all right. What's happening, everybody? So today, I'm going to give you the answer to the question that I asked, the pop quiz I gave you with the picture that I put up with the 2 trucks on the trailer. What was wrong with that? I'm going to give you that answer. And I'm also going to cover my delivery on the 225 excavator and my pickup on this garbage truck chassis for Fort Payne, Alabama. Stick around.
Across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, still horses.
Alright, welcome back to a new episode of Patriot Specialized, everyone. A couple episodes ago, I put up a picture of two trucks that were on a trailer. And I had said there was something wrong with it, and asked people to make comments down in the put it down in the comments what they thought was wrong with that picture. I was originally just going to put the answer right there in the comments. I was just going to tell you whether you were right or wrong, but I got such a good response out of it, and I got a lot of people that were making comments. I felt like maybe it warranted doing a video on it and talking about the answer and just saying how much I appreciate everybody getting involved and making comments. And it was great to see everybody's comments. It was great to see what people thought were wrong. Some were right, some were wrong. Some brought up a whole bunch of stuff that I hadn't even, wasn't even what I was talking about, but it definitely was also an issue. So I really appreciate it. I enjoyed it, and I thought that it'd be good to make do an actual episode and talk about that. So, all right, so currently running through southern Kentucky. Man, I might actually be in Tennessee by now. I don't know. I'm somewhere in southern Kentucky, northern Tennessee on the I-75, heading down to Fort Payne, Alabama. Figured I'd show you a little bit of this pretty scenery while we're talking about this. The people that got involved and commented, I really appreciate it. Like I said earlier, it was great to see everybody's comments and read them, and I got a laugh out of a lot of them. And I appreciate that. I very much enjoyed it. So I wanted to kind of break it down and show you, talk about each person and what you guys had made a comment on. So first off, I'll give you the answer. The answer I was looking for in that was you can't stretch open and have 2 pieces on the trailer. It's a divisible load. You can't have 2 pieces and stretch. I know of no stretch trailer that is short enough in the belly without being stretched that you would be able to stretch it and still be under length. You can't permit over length for multiple pieces. Same thing with width. You can't permit width for multiple pieces as well. You can't put 2 5-foot pieces side by side and then permit it for 10 feet. Can't do that. Can't do that with unless this guy has some way of getting a permit to do this, which I have never heard of. In the 24 years I've been doing this, I've never heard of any way to get a permit for length on multiple pieces like that. But I suppose it's possible. Got some finagling going on there. But there's also something else going on. He's definitely over length. If you look at how far he's stretched open, definitely over length. And he's not running any banners or any signs. That was brought up by one of the guys. So not only is he not announcing that he's oversized, but he's doing something he shouldn't be doing in the first place. I'm not 100%. I'm very interested. I wish we could have talked to the guy and found out where he was going with that, because I don't know how the heck he made it through any of the scales without. I would imagine a scale master would just, I would imagine they would be super excited seeing him cross, thinking they're probably going to run out of ink writing violations on that one. But that was the answer I was looking for, was you can't stretch open for multiple pieces. Some people brought up some other stuff that's wrong. The banners. I don't know. Somebody brought up how that thing was being held up how the second truck was being held up. I don't know. They might have had that. You can't really see in the picture what they got going on underneath there holding that thing up. So it might have been a pretty solid situation and no big deal, but I don't know that that's an issue or not. Based on what they're doing there, the sketchy stuff they're doing there, that's probably an issue too. That's probably sketchy. Probably not a great situation either, but you know, we can't see it, so I can't say for sure, but that's the answer I was looking for. First off, Chris Lively put a comment on there about the drive tires. There's nothing supporting the drive tires on the weight. Again, like I just talked about, I'm not sure what he's got going on in the middle there. The weight, when you stretch open a trailer like that, you kind of see it in the picture. When it stretches open, it's basically just two frame sections that come out as you're opening that trailer up. There's no deck space there, so they could have some pretty solid blocking sitting on top of those frame sections back there holding that truck up, and that would be okay. But I don't know. I don't know that the weight, the axles being supported, that's not really an issue legally anyways. Probably potentially cause some damage to the unit, but legally, as far as crossing the scale goes, there's really nothing wrong with that. So, but Chris also asked a question. He said something that he can't quite figure out watching my channel what my situation is, and I actually covered this on an episode. I don't know, it was a while ago. He said, you know, are you leased to A&H? Are you an owner-operator? I am not an owner-operator. I am a company truck. I drive for A&H Trucking. They own the truck. I'm paid a percentage of the loads that I haul. I'm just in a very unique situation where my company puts 100% faith in me and allows me to book my own freight, run my own loads, do my own thing, and never really questions what I'm doing. So that's your answer, Chris. I am a company driver. I am not leased to A&H. We are A&H. The owner of A&H never got his own authority. So we have 32 trucks that work for us. I believe it's 32 that work with A&H, and he leases us all to Ace Doran, hauling and rigging out of Cincinnati. And if you know anything about Ace, they're part of the Bennett family of companies. So there's a lot of things going on there, a lot of moving parts. But basically, I run for Ace Doran, hauling rigging under A&H's door stickers. So I am paid by Bill. I'm a company driver. He takes taxes out of my checks just like everybody else. And it's a very unique situation. I'm very grateful for the situation I have. So there's your answer, Chris. That's what that is. Mr. St. Clair, Mr. Josh St. Clair, he brought up a really good point. The Western Stars, he said that he's seen them worked in the oil and logging areas quite a bit. So on an off-road kind of basis, and I think he's right. I think that that's probably a good point. Like you do see a lot of Western Stars, so running the logging and oil equipment and stuff like that. So there's definitely some reliability there and some toughness still being trusted in the Western Star trucks, because these guys in the oil fields and the logging companies are still purchasing them trucks to run their stuff. So there's definitely still some heavy haul aspects, and people haven't completely gave up on Western Star. So I appreciate it, Josh, for making that comment and bringing that up. Something I hadn't thought of. David, my boy David up there in the New England area, he gave it a heck of a shot. David's not a road driver. I'm pretty sure David works for UPS, because he said he drives little brown trucks. So he probably works for UPS, I think, based on a comment he just made about UPS going into negotiations. So David's not a road driver. He doesn't do specialized freight. He brings us what we want, brings us all the stuff we order, and we definitely appreciate that, David. Your job's probably just as important as ours. But he gave it a heck of a shot, not knowing what he was talking about. He talked about the securement, which was a great point. He had heard me bring up in other episodes that there's certain securement you have to have, and certain ways to do that securement not to damage the equipment, and he was bringing that up. That was what he kind of focused on with the with the situation there on that trailer. And he's right. There was some things that I probably wouldn't have done. They're not right. They're not wrong. I just wouldn't have done them trying to take care of the customer's equipment. But I appreciate David getting involved and making that comment. You're faithful to the channel, and David's one of the first subscribers to my channel. He's been watching all along, all the way through, and he's been kind of on this whole journey with me. So I appreciate that, and it's good to see you still making comments, David, and I appreciate it. Joe, I'm gonna probably murder your name here. Joseph Frychek, I think is how you say it. He absolutely got the correct answer. Well, we're getting pulled in the scale here. Joseph actually got the correct answer. What I was looking for anyways, the fact that it was stretched open and you had multiple pieces on the trailer. You can't do that. Not as far as I know anyways. Matt Culliver also, he answered it straight off the bat, right away. Got the correct answer that I was looking for, the multiple pieces. Mr. Scott Reed. Scott, I did not expect you to answer this wrong, and you did not disappoint. You answered it absolutely correct, and I expected no less from you, brother. And I appreciate you watching the channel and making comments. And Scott was one that commented a couple videos ago. I was in a situation where I was pulled over on the side of the road, and I blew a tire, and I was checking out the tire, and it's like they gave me the bypass here. I was checking out the tire, and while I was checking out the tire, a couple people buzzed me pretty close, and he kind of got on me a little bit, and I appreciate that. Checks and balances are a good thing, and I don't. Constructive criticism is not something I'll ever discourage anyone from giving me. So I appreciate you calling me out on that one, Scott, and saying, "Hey, man, you ought to be looking, making sure you're not going to get hit." And I absolutely. I kind of saw the car out of my corner of my eye and thought he was moving over, and he wasn't. And but I appreciate the comment, Scott. I appreciate the correct answer on this one, and I look forward to seeing your comments on videos in the future, man. Thanks for watching. And then that brings me to Mr. Steve Phillipson. Steve and I have actually he's also someone that's been around on the channel, a subscriber to the channel for pretty much since the beginning. He's been kind of on this whole journey with me. I've actually talked to Steve a few times on the phone about different subjects, different things. Super great guy. Very much enjoy our conversations. And to Steve, the one thing I'm going to say based on, I don't know if anybody read Steve's comment, but you really need to go in and read Steve's comment. There's a couple things I'm going to say. It's a dang good thing, Steve, you are not a DOT officer. Good Lord, you hammered this guy. Like, you were all over him. If there was anything possibly remotely could be wrong with it, Steve found it. All the way down to one of the funniest, and you got me to laugh, Steve. I'm going to say you got me chuckling a little bit last night at dinner when I read your comment that said the yellow and the purple truck should never be put that close together. I thought that was pretty funny. But you also got the answer correct in there while you were tearing him apart like a DOT officer. You got the correct answer, and it was because you can't have multiple pieces on a stretch load. So there you go. That's covering the guys that made comments, and I really appreciate all your comments. I very much enjoyed them, and I appreciate you tuning in to the channel and watching and getting involved and making comments and promoting my channel. I know you guys have I've talked to a couple of you guys, and I know you've talked to other people and promoted the channel, and I greatly appreciate that. I'm trying to. Channel's not growing quite as quick as I said. I mentioned it on the last episode. Not growing quite as quick as I thought it would, but. I'm not in it to be YouTube famous. I'm not doing this because I'm looking to be, have 1 million subscribers. I mean, obviously that'd be nice, and the more people that watch my channel, the more people I'm helping and teaching. So that would be a great thing, but that's not why I'm doing it. But I do appreciate the people promoting my channel and getting more subscribers. It's very, very cool to watch the subscriber count grow and know that people are interested in watching the channel. And I think we have subscribers now in 7 different countries. So that's super cool. I got a comment from a gentleman up in Canada a couple episodes ago that he enjoys my videos, and he's come to watch them quite a bit. So I appreciate that, and that's super cool that our friends up north are getting involved and watching my channel, and that's great. I really appreciate that comment that he put. You know, I think he said in there that he thought it was one of the best channels on YouTube. That means a lot to me, and that's a drive. That's what keeps me doing this and keeps me making more videos, and I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys letting me know that you're enjoying what I'm putting out. So now, that being said, let's get into the delivery on the excavator and the pickup on the truck chassis that I'm taking down to Fort Payne, Alabama. The important part of this is not so much the pickup and delivery, but this is the schedule this week. I talked about it on the last episode. Time management has been a thing this week. It's just been brutal. I've been chasing a 3-hour stretch this entire week. Like, I just can't seem to make it up. Monday morning it started right off the bat. I went to the shop, had some service work done. I got to the shop at 7:30. Totally expected to be out of there by 9:30, I think. I figured I'd be in there about, sorry about that, taking a drink. Figured I'd be in there about 2 hours for my service, and it ended up being about 5 hours. And what that does for us and how this affects us is, I had already started my logbook. I drove the truck from home to the shop, so I had already moved the truck, so I was already on drive time. I used about an hour and 15 minutes of my drive time to get over to the shop. So my logbook has already started. So I dropped the truck off at the shop. I was doing absolutely nothing while I was there, so I actually went into the break room and kind of just hung out there. And so you can legally use sleeper berth for those times where you're not doing anything, you're not working, you're not helping, you're not doing anything, you're just there. You can use sleeper berth. I actually was in my sleeper for quite a while. I took a nap for a little bit while they were working on it. So I put myself on sleeper, and what that does is stop the clock. As long as you get more than 2 hours, it stops your clock for the day and allows you to extend your day. So when I got back in to the truck, when they got done and I got ready to go again, it was about 12:30, 1 o'clock, I think. And I got logged back in. I still had 9 hours and 45 minutes to run, and I still had a delivery to make in the morning. And I had already booked a load behind that, which was a 162-mile deadhead. So you're talking 2.5, almost 3-hour deadhead to get to it. Then it was a 680-mile run to get it up to delivery, which was that excavator that you're going to see me deliver here in a minute. So there's no room there for error. There's no room there for me making up that 3 hours that I lost. And I had stopped because I left the shop late with 9 hours and 45 minutes. I didn't get stopped until almost 10 o'clock Monday night, which caused me to leave at almost 8 o'clock Tuesday morning to go get delivered. Now I'm on sort of a late cycle. I hate being on a late cycle. It's so difficult to find truck parking now after 6, 7 o'clock. I really hate running that late and because you just get into a truck stop and it's just a fight trying to find a parking space. I did get lucky all week this week so far, and I found parking spaces where I needed them, but it's been a struggle. So what I needed to do, what I should have done in here to kind of fix this week, was booked a short load. Instead of booking loads that are 600, 700 miles, I should have booked a 300-mile load on Tuesday or maybe yesterday, and that would have fixed that. That would have turned this around. However, I didn't do that. I went after the money like I always do, and ended up booking the excavator from Georgia up to Pittsburgh. I think it was a 690-mile run, whole day. So I got it. I still had, when I got up yesterday morning, I still had 5 hours to run on that load before I got it to delivery. Then I had booked this truck chassis behind it, which was another 2.5-hour bounce, well, 2-hour bounce, turned into a 2 hours and 45-minute bounce because of some traffic I got into. But that was another one where I had a significant bounce in between the two to go pick up the load. So I had 5 hours in. It was a 2-hour bounce to get over, 2.5-hour bounce to get over there. When I got picked up and got out of there, I only had about 2.5 hours that I was going to be able to run. Now, that load, again, a 700-mile run, because I apparently don't learn my lesson when I'm doing this stuff. A 700-mile run. So I had 2.5 hours last night that I could run off of it. That leaves me with 7 hours today that I'm gonna have to run before I make deliveries. You see the pattern here? I was 3 hours behind on Monday, 5 hours behind on Tuesday, 7 hours behind today. Now what I'm hoping happens today, and I'm really chasing those 3 hours right now. But what I'm hoping happens today, I have a load booked for one of my customers, brand new customer. I've hauled for him quite a bit, and we finally started working direct with them out of Montgomery, Alabama, which again, did it to myself again. It's 182 miles to get down to Montgomery from Fort Payne. So I'm going to have a significant bounce in between the two to go get the load. So I'm going to get to Fort Payne. I have a 7-hour ride to get to Fort Payne, then it's about a 3-hour bounce down to Montgomery. That's 10 hours. So now I'm going to have about 1 hour left on my load after I get loaded this afternoon, if I make it. I don't know how late these guys are open. It's at an auction site. I'm not sure how late they're open. I'm going to call here in a little bit and find out. But I'm going to have about 1 hour, assuming that I do make it in time and I get loaded, I'm going to have about 1 hour left of drive time before I need to stop for the night. Where the problem comes in and where those 3 hours Monday morning and now really make a huge difference. Montgomery to my house, which the plan is for that load, it's going up to New Hampshire. It's picking up Montgomery, Alabama, going up to Londonderry, New Hampshire. The plan with that load is pick it up, take it home for the weekend, and then I'll finish it out on Monday, deliver Tuesday morning. Montgomery to my house is 13 hours. 12 hours and 52 minutes to get from Montgomery to my house, and I'm only going to have an hour of drive time tonight to run off of that. So looks like I'm going to end up, unless some miracle happens and I just don't see it, it looks like I'm going to end up having to shut down Friday evening about an hour from my house, and then take a 10-hour break and then finish that out Saturday morning. So unfortunately that's the way it looks. I'm still praying for a miracle. It looked like yesterday, I mentioned that 2-hour drive turned into 2 hours 45 minutes. I was headed over there to pick this thing up, and it looked like I was actually going to make it. Like, it looked like I had enough time, that it was going to be tight, but I was going to be able to make it home. And then the universe said, oh, you think you're going to make it home? Nah, let me fix that for you. There was a crew trimming trees on the side of the highway, and they caused an hour-long backup. Trimming trees. Like, I get that this stuff has to be done, but man, it's so frustrating when you're in a situation I'm in where you're trying to run, you're watching that. I would joke, and I always say that I'm a minute horny clock watcher, because that's all I do all day long is watch that clock. And sometimes it works for me, and sometimes it very much works against me, and that's what this week looks like. So that all being said, here's a video on my delivery of the 225 excavator. Take notice of the turn when you'll hear my GPS say turn onto, can't remember what the name of the road is, Corrick Road. Turn it right onto Corrick Road. Pay attention to the roadway right there. That road, when it turns, it leans this way, and then it drops down as you make the turn. And man, those of us with RGNs, we have wore that road out. It is scraped off. Pretty soon it'll be flat. We won't have to worry about this anymore. But take notice of that turn when I'm going in there, and how tight it is in that delivery to get spun around. You'll see I had to spin this thing around really tight, way tighter than I like to spin it around, but I had to do it. Unfortunately, you're not going to see me take the unit off because my GoPro, I'm having a problem with my GoPro. Something about the media mod is heating the GoPro up too much and it's shut down. So you're not going to see me actually take the machine off, but I'll get you as much footage as I can. So that's what you're about to see, and then you'll see the load. in New Philadelphia, Ohio for Fort Payne, Alabama. And that's where we're at. I hope everybody has a great day.
That worked out pretty good. I think I got out of your way right when you needed it.
Pleasure.
What's that thing weigh, man?
Without the counterweight, 165, I think, gross.
Dang it.
Carried one up there a couple weeks ago, weighed 198.
You can do that on 11?
It's all permitted.
Continue on I-77.
Nice. Still playing around down here in the 6-axle world. This seemed to work out pretty good for me. I can move around the country pretty easy with 6-axle.
Yeah, so listen up here, let's just say that Whitey up here, he's driving, he's got to stay on his toes.
Yeah, right?
And he makes me nervous.
Come around here.
He's getting himself nervous.
Trying to get up here and get in front of you for the scale. I got distracted and let you go through.
Yeah, you can get up in, I'm going to go around you. I'm going to stay on the side of you so you wouldn't slow down and let me by.
Right, copy that. Bothers you about that sign being split up front?
No, nobody ever said nothing. Florida got me, I don't know, last week or so, because I ain't had no flags on the bumper, but other than that, that was it.
Yeah, but I got the full sign magnetic on mine, and it's hard to work with, being the whole thing, so I kind of want to cut it, and I was worried about DOT freaking out about it, but everybody I talked to who's got them like yours said that they never been bothered, so I think I'll just buy another one and cut that one.
Yeah, they never say nothing.
Copy that. I'll run up here and see if I can distract this scale for you. Looks like it's open too.
It's been closed all morning. They might have, it's open.
Turn right on Warwick Road.
Same old song. I don't leave the highway long enough. Bogged down in the mud. I've got rambling fever in my blood. Well, I caught this rambling fever long ago. Yeah, when I first heard the lonesome was so blown. And if anyone ever said I gave a damn man, they damn sure told you wrong. I've had rambling fever all along. Rambling fever, the kind that can't be measured by degrees. Rambling fever, there ain't no kind of cure for my disease. Sometimes like to bed down on the sofa, let some pretty lady rub my back. Oh yeah. Spend the early morning drinking coffee, talking about when I'll be coming back. But I don't let no woman tie me down. I'll never get too old to get around. I wanna die along the highway and rot away like some old highline pole. Rest this rambling fever in my soul. Yeah. Rambling fever, the kind that can't be measured by degrees. Rambling fever, there ain't no kind of cure for my disease. That hammer down, Tony. That's country music right there, buddy. Damn right, old son. One more time. Right across these plains and prairies, Rocky Mountain highs, fade off into the distance like ghost riders in the sky. Black smoke and white line, steel horses side by side. It's more than just a living, y'all. Hell, it's our way of life. We're the last of the cowboys to giddy up gone boys. 18 wheels on the concrete, it's a slow and dying breed, rolling like Jesse James, modern day outlaw game. If you're out here riding with me, come on back and make some noise. We're the last of the cowboys. It's a family tradition, diesel's running through our veins. Daddy showed us the roads, we were born in the fast lane. Branded by our heroes, taught to saddle up and move. We keep this country rolling, we're damn proud of what we do. We're the last of the cowboys, the giddy up gone boys. 18 wheels on the concrete, it's a slow and dying breed, rolling like Jesse James, modern day outlaw game. If you're out here riding with me, come on back and make some noise. We're the
celebration. A little old school salvation. Blazing trails across this nation, from sea to shining sea. We're the last, we're the last, we're the last of the cowboys.
I know bunch of boys right there, Bob. You meet me in the back.
We're the last of the cowboys.
Whew. Thank you, sir.
You want both over there?
No. Over here. One's gonna overlap the other one anyways. Yeah, just go through the, yeah, and hook it right back to itself. Well, that's that. She's all loaded. I'm not gonna bother covering securement. You guys have seen this 100 times, so maybe more at this point.
I might need it.
Apparently Bobby needs a lesson in how to hook a bungee cord. Oh, he's got it stretched way out. He was pretty serious about it. You know what? Just hook the same one. Dang rookies. All right. So these CNG trucks, you probably saw Bobby in the video taking his tank off. That's what that looks like right there. That's a temporary tank, CNG, compressed natural gas, hooks into the truck just so we can get it loaded and we get to the other end. I think one of the videos you probably saw me doing the confusing the system so that we could get it to start. We talked about that in a couple videos ago. So that's what that's all about. That's what temporary tank is. Kind of the same setup at the other end. So we are gonna sign our bills and get the heck out of Dodge. Look at Bobby. Bobby got some extra pigtails for our boys down there at the Fort Payne. So they can, they'll be happy. They'll be real happy. So, all right, I'm gonna sign my bills and get the heck out of Dodge, try to put some miles on tonight. This is, I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. When I get in the truck, I'm gonna do a little film and I'll talk about this, this crazy week I got going right here that seems like started with the shop, making me 3 hours behind, and I just can't seem to get in front of it this week. So see y'all in a minute.